Today's topic is
New books.
New books.
New books.
You never met a book you didn't like.
Terry, I'll tell you this. Deb will tell you. We've got boxes of books. I see a book, and I'll buy it online, and I put it in a box and say, well, the next trip I'll go do that. And well, the problem is I'm taking my reading material from work, to that. I picked up two books, and it's funny. I bought these on Amazon. Anybody can buy them on Amazon. They're the two best-selling books that have recently come out, and they're both written by Democrats. And the thing that I liked about it is we keep hearing this narrative that one side is totally wrong and one side is totally right. And it wasn't like that when we were kids, and we didn't fight like this when we were kids. And so I wanted to read these books. And for anybody, I've got a lot of Democratic friends. John Pinkerton is my brother, okay? And he's the first one to say he's a left-wing socialist Democrat, and I'm a right-wing Republican. So what? And he has never once ever called me and said something bad about Donald Trump. And I love everything about Donald Trump. But the one thing I do like is what he's doing. But these books right here, this tells a story. This tells a story that our country was not run by President Biden. And it was run by other people. And what's funny is that these books are written by Democrats. So what's nice is no matter how screwed up things get, people will run over other people to make money, okay? And so for my Democratic friends, they keep saying Trump this and Trump that, and they've got this Trump derangement syndrome. It's just gone off the charts. Go read the books. It's written by yours. It's not written by us. So I found them actually. I found them in a different reading style, but I found them actually. I found them interesting, and I would really seriously. I still read all kinds of business stuff while I went. They're fun. So reading's good. These books they just kind of told the story. So
from those books to other reading material.
Terry, I'm lucky. We get three papers every day. We get the Daily Press, the Times, and the Sun. Deb's gotten really, really incredibly good. It's taken a lot off my plate. She goes page by page.
Wow.
And she's trying to find things that are kind of interesting, like this thing I'm going to share here in a minute. We get now, I think we get 65 publications a month. Plus we get our industry stuff. So you get a lot of different stuff. I get stuff that my Democratic friends would rather read than me. I try to get a balance of stuff. And the reason we like to do stuff like this is to share. While we were gone on the cruise, Pam Price sent out well over 100 articles to friends that, let's say I found a really interesting article about wine. And I've got 4 or 5 friends that like wine. We tear that out, we put a little note on it, and she sends it out, and we like to share. So the whole idea here is to kind of share. So I know people are really nervous, okay? I'm not nervous, okay? I'm somewhat concerned, but I'm not going to lose sleep over where the economy is. I think that we're in really good hands. I think that Trump's doing a great job in his negotiation. I think the thing that he just signed with Ukraine. Now he says to Xi, don't need your minerals. Now we've got to deal with Ukraine, and I don't think that people understand that. I don't think that he's so much into the art of the deal. I saw something on TV about a week ago. Barbara Coker. She's one of those entrepreneurs she's on that TV show with Cuban, and that you take your product. And she was talking about how she originally met Trump and how he sizes up people and all that. And whether you like Trump or not is really not the whole deal. But I think things are not as bad as the media would like us to be. And I'll find an article down here. So here, this is kind of funny. This just came out. So the media just loves to say existing home sales fall to the slowest pace since 2009 amid rising costs. Okay? They just love doing that. Why? Then it freaks people out. Then it says Zillow. Okay, everybody wants to go figure out what their house was on Zillow. Zillow turns full-blown housing market bare. Just look at its forecast. Zillow projects that U.S. home prices will fall 1.7% between March 25 and March 26. Last month, Zillow economists still thought prices would rise in the year. Now, wait a minute. They just said that they thought they would drop down, and then here they say that they'll prop up. Well, this morning I was watching the news, and the financial markets were really concerned. Why has McDonald's sales gone down 3.6%? Okay? in the first quarter. So you get that kind of stuff. But then you get an article like this. Baby boomers, I'm a baby boomer, we're eventually all going to die, retire, move out of the area. Okay, we're going to pass on $17 trillion of home equity to our kids. Okay, so a lot of my friends that have done well, that's one of that's kind of one of their bigger concerns. On the global issue with like tariffs. Okay, so there's a gentleman in our industry by the name of Jon DeCesare, and John publishes a newsletter, and he's part of the World Class Logistics Consulting Group. He's out of Seal Beach. An incredibly nice guy. It took me 5 years to get lunch with him, and we've become really good friends. I mean, we talk pretty frequently. But he's talking about the tariffs in his most recent report. And this is in one paragraph. In a survey of 550 logistics industry professionals conducted by Transport Intelligence and Agility from October to December 2024, okay, 54%. Now this is, okay, October, Trump wasn't in yet. December, Trump wasn't in yet. Okay, 54% of the respondents indicated their intention to move production or sourcing out of China within the next 5 years. The reasons for moving out or reducing China production or sourcing are shown in the chart below. As you can see, the top reason is a potential trade war with the U.S., followed by rising Chinese labor costs. So, is this tariff war what we think it is, or is the media kind of playing on it? Then I've got my newsletter from my buddy Jon Monroe. So who's Jon Monroe? I've known Jon for, Jon Monroe's mom, Paula, sold my mother her home in Rancho Mirage in 1988 when I had moved here to Victorville when my parents were going through a divorce. And his mom worked for I think she worked for Remax, and they became really good friends, and she still lives down there. And Jon is really a world authority in the movement of goods, is involved with moving a lot of product around the world. And he says in his April 22nd newsletter, Supply Chain Review, he says, as chance would have it, I find myself in Shanghai right as the escalating tit-for-tat over tariff dominance unfolds between the U.S. and China. On the ground, there's a tentative sense of optimism that this standoff may blow over within 2 months or even sooner. But what if it doesn't? So I can tell you, knowing Jon like I do, knowing he has his finger in this pulse of these ships that are moving around, Jon DeCesare, back when we had COVID, we had that big backup on the number of ships. He literally had the total count of the number of ships sit outside the port. So these are people that I read their stuff and go, you know what? Is a glass half full or half empty? Then today, just today, okay? This comes to the Wall Street Journal. Employers added 177,000 jobs in April amid tariff uncertainty. The U.S. economy continued, to add jobs at a steady clip in April, although they got to put something negative. The pace of gains slowed slightly during a month that saw changing tariff announcements and market turmoil. That's the Wall Street Journal. Then Epoch Times comes out, same thing. They're both, one came out at 549 and the other one came out at 655. So I get a lot of feeds. This one says U.S. job growth beats expectations in April. It's all about the headline. The U.S. labor market remains solid amid a backdrop of uncertainty as the economy created a higher than expected number of new jobs, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. So, kind of go figure. I think, and one thing I kind of want to leave off, and I found this interesting, and Terry, I've had this here since November. We look at, from an education standpoint, I look at, as a trustee at a community college, are we teaching the right courses? We're reaching out and doing very, very well with our senior staff and to industry on out here. But really, where are the jobs at? And this is something that came out of an AI presentation that we saw. It says the top 25 paying associate jobs for associate's degrees. So I'm going to read this. So, architectural and civil drafters. How many civil engineers do we graduate a year in the United States of America? And I thought, wow, man, 100,000, 6,000. And how many civil engineers are graduated in India every year? 60,000. Okay? So I see more contact in my industry. We have to deal with civil engineers that are from India that are here. So here the top job is architectural and civil drafters, calibration technologists and technicians. So as we went through the Skechers plant, they're not people, lifting stuff on forks. They need people to calibrate these machines and these machines that are just moving a million miles. Electronic mechanical technicians, radio, cellular, and tower equipment installers and repairs, mechanical engineering technologists, cardiovascular technologists, physical therapy assistants. On and computer network supply support, dental hygienists, nuclear medicine, radiation therapists. These are all jobs that people can get at some of your community colleges and your universities. So no one can say that there's really not a lot of jobs. So I really like the reading. I appreciate Deb what you do. She we'll come back. We were gone for 10 days, and she comes back, and B, who delivers our paper for us, God bless her. She's got a big stack. It's all in plastic, and Deb will sit down and tear through it, and it really does help me. I just don't have time to do it anymore, so that's my story about the news.